Hello there, dear wanderers, explorers, and the usual guests of the channel. My name is Jana and I'm filming this video from Helsinki, Finland. Welcome. Today I'm gonna tell you a short tall tale about one magical fantasy-inspired brand called Tammy Tanuka. Tammy Tanuka specializes in the eyeshadows and namely in the loose powder pigments. So I'm gonna create one eye look using the pigments and talk a little bit about the backstory of the brand, why it is so special, and just my feelings about it, because I'm a big fan of the brand. And this video is not affiliated. This is just pure love and admiration from my end. Okay, I hope you stick around and let's get into it. Tammy Tanuka has a collection of, I think, more than 700 shades of loose pigments on their website, which is insane. Go try to find your way through that maze, but I'm here for you. I will tell a little bit more about this as we move forward. And today I thought to create an eye look using 3 shades from the loose pigments. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I will need more, maybe I will just use something else for the finishing touches. But I have a little bit of a collection here from the loose pigments. I store them in boxes like this, also from the brand. I think it's very handy. And this is how it looks inside. And I already prepared the 3 ones that I'm going to use today on my eyes. They're here in front of me. So the first one would be, oh yeah, and I have to mention the part with the names. So because the whole philosophy of the brand is fantasy inspired, as I said, and there is this whole game universe around the products and colors and different even formats, whatnot. There is a whole series of adventures, characters, locations. There is a map on the website, so you do really immerse yourself in a fantasy world if you shop on the website and if you follow the stories created by the brand. And this also reflects in the names they give to their eyeshadows. For example, I haven't really chosen the colors with the most enigmatic, the most fascinating names in a way, but maybe it still gives you the flavor. So the first one would be A Bandit in Love. So this is a medium light brown matte with a pinkish undertone that is for the whole eye lid, just to set the scene and to lay the basis. And next I'm gonna use Skilled in the Art of Levitation. And this is sort of brown, goldish, pinkish, even purplish as they state on the website. I rarely see the purple reflect in this one, but it is a multi-shimmer, meaning that in different settings, lighting settings, different colors may pop out on your eyelid. And I'll use it as a topper on my mobile eyelid. And then also I'll use the equal one. This is sort of a cool teal shade with shimmery particles that I want to create an eye wing with. So I'm gonna use, probably together with a drop of Duraline to create the gel texture in order to put an eye wing. But we'll try. We'll see how it goes. And I also have something else for later, maybe for the inner corner of the eye, but I will talk about it as we move forward. I don't have any makeup on my face right now because these pigments are loose powder in essence, and there will be a lot of fallout, or at least some for sure is expected on my face. So I decided not to put any foundation or concealer so that I don't need to take it off afterwards. But yeah, so first I already have some of the eye primer on the eyelid, so I will go directly into the pigment, and this is this is how it looks like in the jar. So Tammy Tanuka is an indie brand, and they're not really presented in major retail stores and chains, only in a selected few, as far as I know. So they mainly are selling their eyeshadows through the online reseller called Sigil Inspired. As far as I know, the history of the brand, the founder and the creator of the brand namesake, Tammy Tanuka, used to work at a cosmetics store back in 2012 or around that year. And she was once holding a huge palette of a, like, I don't know, some insane number, 240 or something shades in one palette, and she was looking at it and thinking that there is not a single shade in that palette that sort of intrigues her, and the whole color story is not really harmonized. It is not really well thought through as to be applicable to different skin shades, skin tones. So she just decided to play around, order some ingredients, and maybe create some of her own eyeshadows for herself and her close friend. The word of mouth, of course, helped, and friends with friends joined these selected group of people who initially tried on these first eyeshadows. And I believe first 3 shades that she created that really turned out very well and were very much liked by her friends and whatnot are still in the collection, and I think their names is Elf Princess, and then it's there was one, a Priestess of the Red Moon, and the third one, I don't remember the third one, but I'm pretty sure that these 3 were sort of the founding stones of the whole brand. Tammy Tanuka herself, the founder, the creator of the brand, is also a photographer, an artist, and she used to write, and probably she keeps writing, those fantasy stories about different characters that later have transferred into this game universe Tammy Tanuka she created for her eyeshadows brand. So whenever you explore the website, there is a map with different locations. You can also choose eyeshadows depending on the element and skills and location in this universe you wanna be or you want to visit, and it is a fun experience, really. Of course, it does cater to that inner child we all have, inside of us, and on top of the high quality, beautiful products, we also get to play a little bit, like even choosing these eyeshadows, or like reading about different characters and then receiving a package from Tammy Tanuka with a card depicting that character we fell in love with. And the next color, as I mentioned, is skilled in the art of levitation. This is a multi-shimmer, and I already have a little bit of a glitter glue on my eyelids. Tammy Tanuka probably best known for her multi-chrome eyeshadows and all these like shimmer eyeshadows as well. Like within those 700 shades that I mentioned, you can find like any that you might like. Really, there is such a variety, and also they're all sort of gathered according to, as I said, location, element, maybe the governing color, the governing character as well. So at the end of the day, once you get familiar with the map of the world, of the universe Tammy Tanuka has created, it gets easier for you to navigate through that huge range of eyeshadows and maybe find the ones you like. And also just experiment and maybe just to see for yourself which one worked for you and which dozens. They all have also, of course, different formulas, even as these ones. You have matte pigments, you have multi-shimmer pigments, you have proper glitter shimmers, you have metallic shimmers, so metallic eyeshadow, sorry. So you can really, you know, create your own portfolio of eyeshadows. Next one is the Equal one. It's a pearl-like combo with a cool tone teal, maybe it's like more of the satin base, with a little bit even of a pinkish sparkle in it. But all in all, it has this, I would say, sparkling, shimmery particles. This is the color. I don't know. Hopefully you can see it. So what I did really is I applied like a little bit of a drop of the color of the pigment onto the palette, and then added a drop of Duraline, that one, Inglot, and I'm gonna draw now an eye wing, and probably I'm even gonna be able to talk at the same time, but not sure. You can basically create this gel texture for an eyeliner for yourself in any color you like. And also, if you have any old eyeshadows, maybe like the creamy ones that seem to be drying out, a drop of that Duraline Inglot would really help them, maybe for a short while, to extend their lifespan. And finally, as the final touch, I think I'll go with a little bit of a brighter inner corner, and I will use something from my customized eyeshadow palette that I created myself. So basically what I did is I pressed the loose pigments that I have in the jars. So I used a little bit of a secret combo of ingredients. They're not that secret. I mean, one can easily Google and find out what it is. But so yeah, I chose these colors for my little experiment, and they turned out really well. I like how they were on the eyelid. They're not getting the eyelid greasy or something that I was actually very conscious about. The longevity is very nice, the same as with the loose pigments, just maybe a little bit of a more primer, or sometimes the glue. The glitter glue helps them to stay in place for longer. And today, with this eye look, I thought that I might be going with the Nymph. That's also like cool tone teal with a little bit of a also pinkish sparkles in it. So I think it would work nicely with the eye wing. I think it works very nicely with the color combo we went for today. And I'll just add a little bit probably in my waterline, just a little bit of a color touch there, a little bit of a sparkle to brighten up. And here is the final look using the Tammy Tanuka loose pigments. I hope that you get curious about this brand if you haven't heard of it before, or if you have, then I hope you still got enticed and learned something more and just enjoyed this ride with me. I do believe that Tammy Tanuka is an exceptional brand, and it's one of a kind for sure for me, as in particular because of the whole like story universe, storylines, narratives, characters that makes the whole experience of buying from the brand and experimenting with eyeshadows ever more creative and enticing and just fascinating, really. I love the fantasy genre. Every now and then I do see new brands popping up and that actually mimic the fantasy genre in the makeup world. I don't say that they copy anyone, I don't imply that at the slightest, but I do think with the rise of the fame of Game of Thrones and The Witcher and all the series, after a silent gap probably in the mass media right after Lord of the Rings, the trend is well understood, and the trend is certainly there. The fantasy genre is very hyped up currently. But for Tammy Tanuka, that was founded in 2012, I think that was not that known path, and I think they did set out on an adventure to the uncharted waters. They did experiment, they did risk almost, but I think now it definitely pays off because the brand has a very loyal fan base, and it is well understood really. Not only does the brand have this enormous range of colors where like it caters to every possible imaginative needs whatsoever, but it also just a very high quality, good quality brand, and I've never been disappointed in the eyeshadows as I've used them quite a while now. I do hope that you've stayed with me on that ride, you've enjoyed it, and you're sticking around, and we are together setting out on a new adventure very soon. See you!